Welcome back. Today we are working on that piece of shit. We don't know what's going on. It's got a misfire. We've replaced a bunch of parts already. So we're going to look at it and try to figure out what's wrong with it. Stick around.
For the past few weeks, the engine in my Honda has had a slowly worsening misfire on cylinder 3. Instead of taking the time to properly diagnose the issue, I just started shotgunning parts at it. I started with a set of spark plugs, rechecked, no change. Next, I replaced a single ignition coil on cylinder 3. Again, no change. I spent way too much money on a special Honda Teflon seal sizing tool just so that I could change my injectors. The quote-unquote new injectors actually made the issue much worse. So now that I've spent a bunch of money and time unsuccessfully throwing parts at the car, it's finally time to do what we should have started with and actually diagnose the problem.
Alright, for starters, don't really know why it's got a misfire. I think it's probably a base engine issue. We're going to pull the spark plugs out and do a compression test and see what that does. Yeah, we can just test things and see what happens. All right, time for our compression test. We're gonna start on cylinder number 4. Cylinder number 4 is about just under 120, be about 110. On to cylinder 3. This is the one that doesn't work, so whatever this one does is going to be indicative of what we're doing next. Cylinder 3 is in the exact same spot. Alright then. On to cylinder 2. Cylinder 2, same spot. On to cylinder 1. Cylinder 1 is this one. So we don't have a cranking compression issue. Alright, now we're going to pull the intake off and the valve cover and look at the valve flash and see how it's doing. So back to time lapse. Alright, we got the valves all lashed. Everything's happy there. We're going to put some Permatex in a couple spots and put our new valve cover gasket on. And then decided we're going to mix up the spark plugs, hoping that maybe one of the spark plugs that we just put in are actually no good. It's a shot in the dark for sure, but why not? And then we put it back together and we go drive it and see if it's fixed or not. I have low hopes. Nothing was really crazy out of adjustment on the lash. So I am not confident. But there you go. Put everything back together.
What we're going to try to do here is some basic misfire diagnostics. It's pretty standard when you have a misfire that you move a component from one cylinder to another to see if the misfire follows. In this case, we're moving the spark plug from cylinder 3 to cylinder 2. and then we're going to recheck and see if that does anything. If it follows, then we know the issue is the spark plug.
Alright, we tried, and now it sucks. Unplugging coils, we had a miss on 2 and 3 now. And we swapped the plug from 3 into 2. So I'm not sure. I am going to hook up the scan tool and pull the codes and see what codes it's pulling up for misfires. And then I've got a new set of nicer spark plugs here. So these are actually better plugs than the Autolite copper cores. These are NGK Iridium. So we're gonna put those in and see if it makes any difference. We might just skip the scan tool and just put those in. So here's some more time lapse. Hooray! Alright, we're done. Put the spark plugs in it, went and drove it. And it's fine. Lesson that we learned was don't put shitty spark plugs in. I'll show you the ones we have. So these are the ones that we did get. They are Autolite copper cores. And they are very cheap. And this is the very first thing that I did to try to fix the misfire. I knew it had been a while since I put spark plugs in it. So I put a set of spark plugs in it, and the misfire was still in the exact same cylinder, so I assumed that it couldn't possibly be the spark plugs. Did a bunch of other things to it now, and then just kind of on a hunch mixed them up. When I put all the timing stuff back together, or the valve lash stuff back together, put the valve cover back on and everything else. I put them in different spots, and the misfire moved. So we went and got a set of nice NGK plugs. And it's fixed. So I don't know why, but I commonly have an issue where if it's someone else's car, I have no problem diagnosing it properly and taking my time and doing what I should have done to begin with, which would be switch the ignition coils and switch the spark plugs before you replace any parts, and that'll generally narrow down whether it's an issue on one of those or not. When it's my own stuff, I just, for some reason, all that goes out the window. I have no idea why. I just enter panic mode and just start panic throwing parts at things, and it never works out. It always ends up causing trouble. So, yeah, here's your lesson for the day: is don't buy the cheap spark plugs, and take the time to actually diagnose stuff when it's your own stuff. So, there you go. Probably a short episode today. We're gonna get back to the Camaro during the week. I just ordered my 3rd set of push rods. They're finally going to be the proper length. I'll show you more on that when they come in, but we probably will have an episode later in the week. I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be like. My computer is broken for a while. I don't know if anyone cares. No one watches these videos anyway, so I don't have to make excuses, but that's why I didn't upload for the last 2 weeks. But this will be a short little episode, and then we'll get back in the regular group of things this week and go back for our regular episodes. We're trying for once a week. Have pretty good episodes with good thumbnails. Our goal is really good thumbnails. So if you made it this far, tell me what you thought of the thumbnail. Tell me if you thought it was good or bad, or you didn't even see the thumbnail, or I don't know. Just, tell me how I did. So I'm trying to do good, and I don't know if I'm doing good or not, doing well or not. I don't know. So all right, well anyway, see you later. Thanks. Bye.